in just a few hours, 2020 will be upon us. It will be a brand new set decade, that second digit, and especially for, not just like, 2025, 2030. It's going to be 2020, and it's extra special when it's got the dual little set there. And I know there are some people that are already in 2020. Listen, I'm not yet, so I'm still technically, I'm still within 2019, and I wanted to do one last video before, I ushered in the new year, and where I wanted to talk about, because, it's got to be extra special. It's got to have a little bit more meaning than just be like, oh yeah, I want to talk about, whatever it may be. And there's going to be a chapter review, but this is going to be the last, discussion video of the year. Unless I end up just saying, let's wait and see how long until the chapter comes out, and then I'll review that and then do this one. But, as it is, I want to talk about Natsu and his whole relationship with, he's got his flesh and blood brother, Zeref, and his half, stepbrother, really. I sort of say half, because it's like, well, Natsu becomes a dragon because of Ignil's magic, so it's sort of almost like half. I don't know. In reality, stepbrothers, in a weird sense, half-brothers, and the way that I kind of awkwardly look at that whole idea of, how dragons slaying magic changes their body. Anyway, when it came to Zeref, I really loved the whole dynamic between them, and the way that it was kind of depicted, similar to how the first 200 or so chapters, Zeref's whole presence in the story is it's all laid out by other characters and how they see him, and how, they all saw, what he promised and what, pleasing Zeref will come to him. And then in reality, Zeref, he wanted much more. He wanted nicer things in a lot of ways. He wanted to die to end his own suffering, but he also wanted to help people, leading up to the Neo Eclipse. And, wanted to both, undo all the damage he's done, but also, prevent himself becoming immortal, prevent his brother from dying, prevent, Acnologia from ever becoming as powerful as he was. But the way that it was kind of set up entirely, for 100% view, he was, this ultimate big evil being from all these other characters, but in reality, it was completely misunderstood. He was this very emotionally down in the dumps kind of guy, just looking for happiness and looking to make his life a little bit less shitty. And with him and Natsu, he still holds a very, very strong care for his brother, both as his brother, but also the cause of what led to him in this life, but at the same time what he thinks will end it for him, what will end all his suffering. And, that being, E and D, his brother Natsu, as he gave him life again as this super ultimate destroyer demon being, dragon demon guy. But how he had all these memories of Natsu, how he had all this, thoughts and emotions all tied around. Natsu didn't have any of that towards him. And there were still kind of, some emotional, there could be stuff there, but at the same time, all the stuff you've done, I can't really forgive. And we know from, the whole, very beautiful, I might add, the whole Beta Heaven thing, where we saw that even in not really knowing Zeref personally, and still, not being really able to forgive, a lot of the stuff he's done, he still wanted him to have a happy afterlife, to rest, and to be at peace. And when it came all down to that, it was just he still wanted to be his, in a lot of sense, for him to be happy, wanted him to be his brother, and wanted to have this, better relationship, but he knew that it couldn't have happened given everything that went down. And when you look at the way that, you were built up for how Zeref was gonna be, and how it was completely different than how, all these characters kind of portrayed him as, someone how Zeref, had all these thoughts all built up around his brother, didn't get exactly what he wanted, which I thought was really, a little poetic sense of, would it be justice? I don't know. Just warping expectations for both the readers and, this character. But in the end, Natsu ended up, defeating him and making it, set up so Mavis could help him pass on. And from all that, then we get into Ignia. And there was a really sad sense, one of my friends and I, like, we're big enjoyers of Zeref and his character, but like it was always sad but funny in a sense that Natsu, like 400 years of wanting to be with his brother and Zeref doing all this to bring him back, like Natsu never really saw him as a brother, but like knowing that Ignia, you know, is the son of Igniel, and you know that technically makes him and Natsu, you know, they're pretty much stepbrothers, and he ended up kind of calling him, referring to him like his brother way quicker than Zeref ever got, which is just like, man, that's gotta be rough. Like, that's gotta be really rough for you. Like, you go through all this, you do all this for your brother, and then at the end of the day, he doesn't give you that same sense of brotherly love. But then it's like this guy that he's met very briefly, and the only connection, it's like, well, we have the same dad. You see him as a dad, but I don't really care. And it's like, well, I guess that makes us kind of related. You know, you're still kind of like my brother, and I still gotta take responsibility for what you're doing. I'm just like, where's Zeref? Zeref just, he never really got that same kind of sense of, that same kind of sense of care, from Natsu. But then we saw from, like, the whole Beta Heaven thing that he ended up getting like a lot more love down the line, and that was really touching for the guy, and how his character, he was able to get that last kind of little bit before his character passed on fully. And I know it wasn't the exact same Zeref, but it was nice to kind of see him along those lines. But as it were, we'll have to wait to see further of them. And though Zeref was defeated, you know, back in, was it, oh my god, 2017, I want to say, just like gauging numbers, just, yeah, because 2018, 100 Years Quest started, and then now it's 2019, about to be 2020, but he was defeated in 2017, but I think, like, with the whole Beta Heaven thing, his whole kind of story with Natsu, I think personally came to a close. I don't know if we're ever going to see him again, in that sense. And like I said, I know it's not the full Zeref, but I can kind of count it just in the way that, because it's how Natsu would interact with him in that sense, where Zeref isn't completely mind corrupted by a crazed god. But the way that it kind of ended there, and then in 2020 we're going to be moving closer towards, you know, finding more about Ignia's character, like what really are his motivations, is his whole drive with Natsu. I mean, the fight might not even happen until like 2021, 2022, because we haven't even got to Alderon's fight. We haven't even seen Celine or Viernes yet. We don't know what's going on with Diablos or, you know, the White Witch, Alefsaria. Personally, I think Ignia is like that, really, unless there's like a secret extra, like, higher boss. Like, if you go check out my 7 Dragon Gods video, you can see what I'm talking about. But other than that, I can see Ignia just being like a really perfect final bad guy for Natsu, where it's not, oh, I'm an evil bad guy. It's like, no, this is more of a personal thing, you know, a personal battle between two brothers over, you know, this torn spot between their dad. One who was adopted by Mikara-san, and one is his blood son, and, you know, doesn't really, well, he says he doesn't care. I got my own suspicions. Anyway, other than that, like, I'd really appreciate it if you'd comment below, tell me your thoughts are about this, and tell me where exactly, or, you know, you're getting the feeling for Ignia, and the way that, like, he and Natsu are gonna be out. And especially because, like, I really like how you have this almost night and day kind of, like, set between Natsu's two brothers, Zeref, and this whole, like, dark, gloomy kind of just all around. Like, I think you could just go as, like, this almost nighttime kind of feel to him, this almost lifeless while alive kind of being. And then Ignia, who's this big, fiery, raging set of emotions, you know, this big, gleaming, shining being of ferocity and aggression. It'll be really cool to see, like, how exactly this all plays out with him. I'm pretty excited to see more from the guy. But other than that, like I said, comment below. Tell me what your thoughts are about this kind of comparison between them, and how you really took, like, the, you know, Natsu's handling of both his brothers. Like, with Zeref, it was always kind of, like, hard to watch for him, because, you know, Zeref cared about him. At the same time, Natsu didn't care for him. He's like, you know, you're a threat to the guild and everything you've done, so I see that more as this, oh, you might be my brother from what you say kind of thing. And with Ignia, it's like, well, it's not that he's my brother, it's that he is the son of Igneal, and I need to take responsibility for it. And just that acknowledgement of responsibility, I think, kind of really outweighed like the way that he treated Zeref a lot of the time. Until we got to see the beta heaven where he called Zeref his brother, which is so sweet. Anyway, yeah, comment below. I really appreciate if you thumbs up the video, press the like button and the subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But that, I appreciate everybody's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.